which helps encourage them to get more into politics later on. So transcendentalism, realism, naturalism, and modernism, these are all periods of the past that have had great influence upon the American society, then and today. And the spark that caused the flame for these movements were the popular books of those times. So we have to ask ourselves, what are the popular books of today? And usually the most talked about books of today are from the young adult novels. And when you think of young adult novels, you're probably thinking of a silly romance or Twilight. But the majority of young adult books today have strong political themes throughout them. And we have to ask ourselves, if these books of the past had a strong influence upon society then these books today must have a strong influence on the young girls reading them now. I believe that young adult books today are convincing more girls to get into politics because of the underlying political themes in the books, the strong rebellious female characters in them, and because that the target audience is younger and they'll be looking up to the characters in the books. So I'm going to read a quote by Motes, and she has researched how these young adult books affect teens, and she says, and I quote, that these novels contribute to the development of a new era of feminism and encouraging readers to activism. And the young adult books today almost all have political themes that are just out in the open or they're more underlining. Some books, such as The Hunger Games or Divergent, you can see the strong political themes of a corrupt government and a corrupt system, and you see people rising up and eventually rebelling. And you see that in a lot of these books. But what I think is more interesting is when these books have an underlying theme. And these books are such as the Lunar Chronicles or the Shadowhunter series, which you guys will not know of, but these have more of a quiet political system, which is more like how it is today. In fact, the author of the Shadowhunter series, Cassandra Clare, in an interview she said how she tries to make the political system in her book more like how it really is by having both of the houses fighting or just having it so that the government isn't purposely hurting the citizens. It's just sometimes not there to help them. And I think that this is more eye-opening than having just an outright corrupt government would be. The second reason why young adult books are causing a political spirit in girls has to do with the characters. The majority of the characters in these books are the same age as the girls reading them. The girls see these people as someone to look up to. The main characters all lead some form of rebellion against the government or in spirit. A lot of these characters are made for breaking down stereotypes. They're smart, they're strong, and that's why many girls look up to them. In fact, Sarah K. Day, another researcher into young adult books, she said, and I quote, "Rebellious girls are perhaps as close to conventional understanding of girlhood rebelliousness." Finally, I believe that the books convince more girls to get into politics because they are more easily influenced in their younger years. Their brain starts to develop at this stage, and people are wanting more ideas in their teen years. And they see these girls being able to speak out, to say what they want, and their voices are being heard, and they think that they want that also. They also want to make a difference, they want to change something, and they see this happening through politics. And that's how these books are getting more girls into politics than would be otherwise. I'm going to read a quote by Ventura. She has studied the effects that these books have had on young girls, and she says, and I quote, "An exploration of the rebellious girl protagonist, a figure who directly contradicts the common perception that girls are too young or too powerless to question the limitation placed upon them, much less to rebel." And because girls see this, they see these girls rebelling, they see them getting into politics, they think that I could do that also.